It's Sunday, and tomorrow, after 12 weeks of paternity leave, I go back to work. I've known this was coming for a long time, 12 weeks, but somehow it snuck up on me, and I am not ready. If you ever come back to work or school after a long break, whether it be vacation, time off, parental leave, or just a really long weekend, you can probably relate to this feeling. The Sunday Scaries dialed up to 11. Except this time, I'm not just nervous about going back to work after a couple of days, or even a couple of weeks. It's been a really long time, and also I'm a little bit nervous about how nothing in my life is like it was before 12 weeks ago. I was certainly already a parent. My husband and I have a 4-year-old, but we now also have a 3-month-old. And so I have all these thoughts swimming in my head about what it's going to be like to be a dad of 2, going back to work, trying to handle responsibilities both professionally and personally, trying to be a good dad, a good partner, a good colleague, and it's all just kind of leaving me feeling a little bit I'm definitely really grateful for the time off that I've had, don't get me wrong. I know that some people get very little or next to no time off when they bring a baby home from the hospital. And so these 12 weeks have been really fantastic, and I've really been so grateful, but it also still kind of sucks to go back to work. There are lots of great things about my job. This is actually my desk. I work from home. There are lots of great perks and benefits. But would I rather be lying on a beach somewhere sipping a beverage? I mean, yes. Sorry, employer, if you're seeing this, if that's news to you, I don't know what to tell you. About a month into my leave, I remember making an Instagram reel, which then became a YouTube short, about the idea of the Sunday Scaries more generally. And I remember thinking, oh God, it's gonna be the mother of all Sunday Scaries on Sunday, March 9th, the day before my leave ends and I have to go back to work. And so here I am, doing what comes naturally to me, making yet another video, talking about it, trying to eat through my feelings and see what happens. I had some anxiety about starting back, certainly. I mean, part of me is nervous that I'm gonna have forgotten how to do 80% of my job. I'm fairly certain I don't remember the password to log in to my laptop. It was basically just muscle memory before I left, and now I'm pretty sure it starts with a lowercase n. And that's about it. And the only reason I know that is because my name starts with an uppercase N. Haha, Neil. So we'll see, that will be task number 1 tomorrow. Remember my password. That will be the easy part, and then I'll have to reintegrate into everything else and somehow make it to 5 p.m. at the end of my first day back. I'm also a little bit nervous about thinking back to my work self in December. I certainly let myself get stressed out by things that now I will just not have the stress bandwidth for, because there's less time and energy in my day for such things, chasing after not 1 but 2 children. And that is fantastic, but my stress at work toolkit is perhaps a little bit atrophied. So I'm nervous that I'm going to be stressed all day by work, and then stressed by being a parent before and after work. I'm choosing to be optimistic that I've got my stuff together enough where I can handle it, but there's a lot of unknowns here, and so there's definitely some stuff to work through. There's definitely some guilt involved as well about parenting versus working. With our son, he didn't go into daycare until he was, I think, 13 months old. Times were different then. It was the height of COVID. My husband and I were both in different jobs. We had different support systems. But now our daughter is going in, she's barely 3 months old. And it's a little different handing over the tiny 3-month-old baby rather than toddling in with your toddler and saying, bye, see you in a few hours. I don't know if other at-home workers can relate to this, but I've had quite a few people say to me, and it's great, you work at home so you won't have to put them in daycare. I'm just like, yes, I work from home and I cannot be being a full-time caregiver to the baby and also being a full-time employee at my job. There's this strange thought that is somehow possible because I'm not going into an office. Of course you can't take a baby into an office, but that's the only obstacle to you being a full-time parent as well as being a full-time salaried worker for your family. So there's definitely some parental guilt wrapped up in all that stuff that I'm gonna have to sink my teeth into over the coming weeks, I think. It's definitely a weird headspace to be in. I'm definitely looking forward to picking back up some work projects that I laid down, to hopefully having some of the ones that I didn't like so much having been wrapped up by someone else while I was away. And also starting some newer projects. Expending some effort towards a task that is for adult consumption rather than baby consumption, right? Literally making bottles, feeding bottles, or the opposite end of that, changing nappies, diapers, that sort of thing. So it'll be nice to transition back into that a little bit, I think. But I've also really got used to changing diapers and feeding bottles and enjoying those little moments. Our daughter is literally about to roll over during tummy time for the first time, and that is so exciting. And part of me just knows that that is going to happen tomorrow at daycare for the first time, about an hour into my first day back at work, or something like that. Okay, so what's my plan here? What am I going to do about this? I want to share, hopefully it might help you one day, whether you're going back from parental leave or extended time off or a Sunday Scaries long weekend situation. First of all, I'm going to ease back in and give myself lots of grace, right? I don't remember my password. Remembering my password is going to give me my first little zing, my first little win of the day, and I'm going to allow myself to feel that win. I'm certain I'm going to be rusty at lots of parts of the job, and so wins, as I used to classify them 3 months ago, might be few and far between. I will be looking for other things to call wins in these early days. And I think that's really going to help me settle back in, feel like I'm contributing, feel like I'm not a total failure. Now, my natural instinct with a situation like this is to just power through and white knuckle. Say, okay, this first week is going to be tough, but I'm just going to get through. I'll figure things out along the way. Next weekend, I'll reflect and get things figured out for the week after. Given how often I attempt to use this strategy and it fails, you'd think I would be better at knowing it doesn't work. But it's always my first instinct. So here today, I've been taking time thinking through what boundaries do I want to set for myself, my expectations, how can I communicate those to myself, my husband, my supervisor at work, that sort of thing. Make sure I'm not worried about trying to prove myself that I'm back at 110% capacity, just coming from a place of anxiety or scarcity. I do not want to white knuckle through this week. Ultimately, I'm also expecting to just feel weird. Both tonight, as I'm crying myself to sleep. I won't be crying myself to sleep, probably, but when I wake up tomorrow when I'm giving the kids breakfast, or giving myself breakfast, or having that first cup of coffee as I sit down and try and remember my password, that's gonna feel weird. I haven't done any of that in a while. I've done some of it, never. So I'm just expecting and allowing that to feel weird. As I said, giving myself grace, allowing difficulties and challenges to hit and wash over me. And also ultimately remember that my team at work, my colleagues, are great people. I love them. They love me. They're going to be understanding. They're going to want to know all about the last 12 weeks and what it's like being a parent of 2 and having a 3-month-old and all that fun stuff. It's probably going to be a really easy, great day, but a weird, easy, great day. So if you're seeing this while you're dealing with a really strange transition, whether at work or personally, just know that you're not alone. Hopefully you're seeing this not today, for me. Hopefully you're seeing it in a week, a month, a year, and you can click on some future video and see the happy resolution where actually my first day, week, month back at work were really great. So that's nice. I don't have that luxury right now. I'm kind of by the seat of my pants and hoping that it goes well. But remember, you're not alone. These are the strategies that I'm confident are going to work for me. I hope they help you through whatever you're going through as well. It's okay to feel like it's a struggle, and to be excited, and to be sad, all at the same time. And if tomorrow truly sucks, that's okay too. It's just day one, and I'm gonna fake it till I make it, and know that it'll all be fine. By day 57 at the very latest. Wish me luck, and I'll let you know how it goes. By day 681 at the very... that's too big, that's too large. That is not conceivable.